The larger ones?
I haven't actually tried the larger one. I mean, I am very stubborn and resistant to change. And this particular combination here has just done so well for me. And I mean, I've taken it to Leesville, Bugs, Stanton River, you know, anywhere, Claytor Lake. I mean, and I've caught fish on it. I mean, I've caught everything on it. And, you know, speaking of Travis, he caught the big red drum. Did I talk about the drum and the trout?
No.
So he caught a 52-inch drum on a monkey a few weeks ago. Probably the biggest fish that I'm aware of ever caught on a monkey.
That's a good size fish.
It's a huge drum, and you know, she smoked it. And he also was catching speckled trout on it. He calls them gator trout because they were all over like 24 inches long. I think they were like 24 to 28 inches long. I have made some really weird colors. You know, that electric chicken color, the pink and chartreuse for the, I guess, the trout flounder guys. Make a lot of that. You know, the bass guys, they, you know, a couple of them, they don't want me to mention their names, but they use them a lot. You know, I'm secret of bass guys, all right, I won't even get into that. But anyways, it catches a lot. It really, I mean, anything that eats a shad, I mean, I think will eat this. So,
What size zoom are you using there?
so that's a 5-inch, that's a super flip. So and I think the Magnum will work well, but you know, the Magnum gets kind of beefier, right? So with this size hook or with this style hook, I'm not sure how much gap you would have between the plastic and the hook. So, you know, you may not be able to get as good of a hook set as, you know, maybe using it, you know, something a little bit like this. Even though this is the same hook, you know, they make bigger hooks. You know, I do a lot of custom stuff for like saltwater guys or whatever, as far as using bigger jig heads, like 2, 3, 4 ounce jig heads, and we're using 8, 9, 12 aught hooks. You know, the Magnum Fluke is a player. I don't use it as much as I probably should, or, you know, very rarely. I mean, this 5-inch Super Fluke on a jig head or on a monkey is just truly hard to beat.
Where did you catch that drum at?
Outer Banks, right there at the
Outer
Oregon
Banks?
Inlet. Yep.
How much did it weigh?
He didn't weigh it. He just said it was 52 inches long, and I don't forgot how long it was around. What did he say? It was huge.
Big.
He estimates between 45 and 50
I'll
pounds.
show you, Marshall, I'll
He's
show
got
you.
pictures on his website.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll say it's close to a 50-pound fish. It was 45 to 50 pounds.
With that lure you got right there, you can catch flounder on that.
I would not be surprised. I would not be
You can
surprised.
bust them. I'm leaving Sunday, be gone for a week.
All right.
I got a place at Oak Island and I
Yep.
fish saltwater much as I do up here or more.
Yes, sir.
So I knew what you was talking about when you said the drum. I'm going Spanish ran down there now.
Sure.
And the King Mackerel, so I'm going down there.
Very cool.
So I stay down there a whole lot.
That's awesome. Well, if you get around the toothy critters, and it may tear that skirt up pretty bad. I don't know. Like I
So
said.
that there, we make those down at the beach. And
Do you?
That's a good flounder.
Oh, awesome.
Excellent flounder lure for it slow.
Oh, I bet.
It is. They'll eat that up.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, it's a jumbo.
I don't know what it is. They're trying to eat me up for a while.
Yes, sir.
Fishes SwampMonkey at night, during the winter under the lights?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I
So
mean,
with the skirt or without the skirt?
with the skirt.
Okay.
Actually, let's see, what hurricane hit us this fall?
I got.
Was it Ida? No, actually this fall, like last year. I'm sorry, not this year. Last fall, there was a hurricane coming, and we went out the night before, and it looked like, you know, submarines going through the lights. And we had probably one of the better nights probably the best night of striper fishing I've ever had, and it was fishing the lights.
Tell them about, and this is, you know, this is why you're part of the Striper Club, to kind of get the inside information, right? In the wintertime, when what is coming, is it absolutely on fire?
Oh, the blizzards.
Whenever they call for snow, get out on the water.
Absolutely.
I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pressure change?
Have the monkey ready to go for when the fish come up. And also have one tied on another rod, like just the jig head and the fluke combo for when they're, you know, they're down and you're jigging. I can't tell you, when I used to keep my boat at Bayrock, I can't tell you how many harrowing rides home I had on Hardy Road because I stayed out on the water too long fishing when it was snowing, probably boat to boat with you beside us.
Yeah, chasing the seagulls is huge in the wintertime, and I love it. I'd rather do that than eat when I'm hungry. I swear I would. Just the birds, something about pulling around the corner and seeing those seagulls diving and just knowing you're about to wreck them. I mean, I can't really describe that feeling, but it is awesome.
But they sure tricked everybody this year with that fish.
Yes, they have. The fish. There's been 2 years we've had that fish kill, and every year.
A lot of seagulls. And
Yes,
they're
sir.
already full.
It's a pain in the tail. That fish kill is tough,
Yeah,
but
it's tough to fish.
yep, absolutely. But yeah, chasing the birds in the wintertime. And honestly, I don't know if you guys have noticed it as much as I have, but since the blueback's been put in here, these fish stay shallow a lot longer in the winter. And I've been able to take this out middle, end of December, early January, and throw up on the points shallow and catch some really nice fish. So, I mean, this thing, I would fish a monkey literally probably 10 months out of the year, and I do. And when those fish get, like I said, in that 30 to 50 foot range where they are now in those great big schools, I think it just falls just a little too slow, and that's where this dude comes in. And this particular combination here with white ice, super fluke, and that triangle head is good to go. Flukes, of course, I mentioned albino. Everybody's familiar with white ice and pearl. I mean, just very tried and true colors. I mean, there's 1,000 different colors out there. Blue, glimmer, sexy shad, Arkansas shad. I mean, all those colors work. Lemon shad's popular. You know, just really hard to beat. So.
Does anybody else have any questions, any more questions for Lacy?
The general question, I'm new to the lake.
Sure.
I'm used to tidal fishing. When, in the winter, when you're chasing the seagulls, is it usually more on the main channel versus?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't know, you never know where you're gonna see a seagull.
Okay.
A bunch of them. So
Nah.
when you do see them, you'll never forget it.
And-
You'll
and-
chase them forever.
Well, and is it like in
I was
the
gonna say,
afternoon
Bridgewater,
or the
be
morning?
careful.
Early mornings is best, just go daylight. and
Okay.
you pop around the corner.
So it's like tidal fishing.
They'll be
water,
everywhere.
that's- okay.
Yeah, you never really know where the bird's gonna
Okay.
be. I mean, they roost around Bridgewater, I believe, out there on those
Yeah.
floating docks, and you'll see 10 gazillion there. So be careful there. And every time they hit the water, there's fish there.
Yeah.
But if you go up the river or go back down towards the state park, you go around the corner, you see them out. They usually will start in the main channel, and then they kind of filter their way back into the creeks. Like I know one school we chased from Grimes all the way down to Stony one afternoon. I mean, it's amazing to me how far these fish will swim. But those
How
birds,
fast they swim.
oh, and especially in the wintertime, you're talking about 43, 44 degree water, and they have the turbos on, they're gone.
And don't let them fool you if they're just sitting. If they're just racked up, they're just racked up. They're resting.
Yep.
If they're not diving.
Right. It's like tidal water.
Yep, same principle.
But
They're
if
not
you
even bothered, they just rest and their bellies are full.
if you get into an area though, and you see them sitting around, and it's not near the bridge, they're not gonna be far away.
Right.
I would definitely hang in that area.
When you approach them, do you have to go silently with your trolling motor, or can you zip up to them?
As far as the seagulls diving, I would definitely shut it down 100 yards or so away, because I mean, those fish, when those birds are diving, that bait's coming to the surface, those fish are right there with them. So it's just like approaching schooling fish down at the dam this time of year when those fish are busting. You don't want to just plow right into them and set it down. You're gonna catch way more fish that way if you slow down on it. Yes, sir.
So when the fish are busting, is the monkey your go-to?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. I mean, I love a chug bug, I love a spook, all that kind of stuff. Man, those treble hooks just take way too long to get out of a fish. So that single hook, I mean, and they bite it. And honestly, and some of you guys might be able to tell this and let me know if this is true or not. I've always heard the bigger fish are below the school. So like you have your schoolies up, the Chad fish at 10 to 12, 14 inch fish.
Chad fish.
So they're usually the ones up busting the shad. But your better fish of the school are usually, they're lazy and fat like me, and they just wait down there and wait for those dish shad kind of fall to the bottom, and then like I said, Leslie, get away from those treble hooks. I mean, especially if you catch a good fish on a treble hook bait, it takes so long to get it out of the net, and of course you don't want to catch one in the hand. So like I said, it's hard to beat this thing, and especially the guys up around Bay Rock and Mormons here in a few months. I mean, you'll see a lot of monkey users up there.
Lacy, thanks.
Hey, Chad, thank y'all,
Thank
man.
you,
Appreciate it.
guys.